Time Travel Bureau recruiting villainous stepmothers. I was hired precisely because of my 20 years of professional pig farming experience. 10 years later, when the results were reviewed, the system was dumbfounded. No, I meant for you to raise him like a pig and humiliate him. I told you to make the villain depressed, not to cure him. You're preparing scientifically balanced meals, supervising his workouts, and even keeping a growth record for him. What exactly are you trying to do? Isn't this how pigs are raised? I'm a professional. Do you think I don't know that? It is said that 3,000 people applied for the role of the villainous stepmother. My resume was selected at first glance. When I received the offer, I was still a bit confused. Why would they choose someone like me, a pig farmer? The expert in front of me looked at me and let out a strange, eerie laugh. It's simple. Just raise the antagonist the same way you raise pigs. Isn't that easy? I thumped my chest confidently. Don't worry. I'm a professional at raising pigs. The people at the Transmigration Bureau all share a love for eerie laughter, and the system assigned to manage me also cackled. He. In my mind, just thinking about the villain being about to live a pig's life makes me laugh. Host, you need to pay special attention to his diet. Besides pig feed, you can occasionally give him some garbage to eat. And also, enough, I waved my hand. Amateurs giving advice to professionals. I know how to raise pigs. Alright. It's rare to find such a worry-free professional. I'll go keep an eye on others for now and come back later to assess your performance. Okay, the first step in pig farming is to maintain cleanliness. As soon as the system left, I scooped up the little villain who was cowering in place and strode toward the bathroom. Jasper struggled to no avail. After all, he's just a 3-year-old kid, no matter how strong he is. Could he be harder to handle than a pig at New Year's? Jasper is really dirty. Luckily, I'm a professional pig farmer, not afraid of dirt or hard work. In no time, I stripped him down and put him in the bathtub. I don't know how the previous stepmother raised him, but the child is extremely afraid of me. Every time I raise my hand, he flinches and tries to hug himself. When I made a slight noise while sitting down, he flinched again, so I realized he's afraid of loud sounds. He even flinches when I just glance at him. Sigh. What to do if a piglet is afraid of people? Desensitization training. To desensitize Jasper, I looked at him with the gentlest and most loving gaze I've ever mustered, and kept looking, and looking, and looking. After a while, Jasper finally stopped trembling and closed his eyes as if resigned to his fate. I turned on the bathroom heater, adjusted the water temperature, and started washing the pig. No, washing the child. Only then did I see clearly that he looked much thinner and smaller than other children his age. His hair was matted into strands, and his face was smeared with snot. Noticing my close observation, he put on a nonchalant expression, but secretly tucked his grubby little hands behind his back. If he could, he probably wouldn't want to be a dirty child either. Dirty clothes hung on his thin frame, with various wounds all over his body, when taking care of the piglets. The skinnier ones in the litter always received my extra care, and Jasper was no exception. Open your mouth. I placed a piece of candy into his mouth. He showed a surprised expression, licked it with his tongue, and then hesitantly asked me, "Can I save it for later?" About to spit it out. Stop, I quickly intervened. Be good and take a bath, and I'll give you the whole box. What kind of life has this child been living? A piece of candy has to be bitten into pieces and eaten in several bites. I don't know how to coax a child, but I know how to coax a little pig. You have to give it delicious food and let it know that you mean no harm. After all, he's just a 3-year-old child. Under the influence of candy and gentle persuasion, Jasper quickly gave in and let me do as I pleased. I'll just throw away the clothes I took off and wear the new ones I bought. I simply cut off the tangled hair and will let it grow back slowly later. I wiped the little face covered in snot with a towel several times. After putting down the towel, Jasper was still holding his breath, his eyes and nose scrunched up, his little face all wrinkled. I couldn't resist giving the rosy little cheek a kiss. Little thing, you're quite adorable. Jasper shrank back again, peeking at me with his eyes open and said, "Are you going to wash me clean and eat me?" I chuckled. How did you know that I love eating kids the most? After changing the water twice, the bathtub finally no longer looked inky. I lathered Jasper's body and head with foam again, teaching him how to scrub himself. Little piggy, oh so smelly. Take a quick shower and rinse off. Scrub your head, scrub your face, scrub your tummy, scrub your bottom, wash, scrub, wash, scrub, wash, scrub, wash, scrub. Oh, children are easier to raise than piglets. After washing, the piglet only nudges me, but after washing, Jasper even dares to hum along with me. Clean Jasper is wrapped in a towel. His hair wet and dripping. While I was looking for the hair dryer, the child whispered, "Why didn't you use cold water to bathe me today? Why didn't you hit me?" What? Hit? Cold water? I have always raised them in a civilized manner. Even when the piglet pooped on my bed, it didn't get hit. If anyone dares to pour cold water on my pig for no reason, I'll grab a knife and chop them up. How on earth did the previous stepmother take care of the child? No wonder the Time Travel Bureau had to replace her. It takes a professional like me to handle this. With a serious expression, I picked up Jasper and looked him straight in the eyes. I apologize for my past behavior. No matter what I did before, I hope you can forget the past and trust that I will take good care of you from now on. Jasper sniffled, his eyes watery, and avoided making eye contact with me. I told him seriously, "I have only one request for you. You must grow up healthy and strong." Jasper didn't say anything after hearing this, just stood there dazed, lost in thought. After a long while, he reached out and tugged at my sleeve. "Can you be my mom forever from now on?" I pulled him into my arms. "Of course, I've signed a long-term contract with the Time Travel Bureau. Step 2 in raising a pig, feed it well." I brought out the carefully prepared baby meal. Jasper looked conflicted, glancing at the food and then at me. "My little piglet wouldn't dawdle like this. It would dash over as soon as it sees food. Didn't your stomach just growl? Hurry up and eat. Kids are just like piglets. They shouldn't go hungry while they're growing." Jasper carefully poked with his spoon, looked up, and asked me, "Mom, is this poop?" "What did you say?" Jasper mumbled and corrected himself. "I mean, Mom, what is this?" I looked into the bowl. It didn't look very appealing. The rice and meat dish were mixed into a lump of dark yellow solid, with a moderate texture, and it was piled high. No wonder he misunderstood. Forget it, no use saying more. I simply took a bite first to show him. So fragrant. How could there be such delicious food in the world? Jasper looked at me with a mix of doubt and curiosity. Finally, he put on an expression of heroic sacrifice and scooped a spoonful. He closed his eyes and put the spoon into his mouth, as if making a firm resolution. Immediately after, his eyes lit up, the little mouth started smacking, chewing frantically, one spoonful, then another. He's eating faster and faster. I'm considering whether to buy him a slow feeder bowl. Ah, poor little kid. No wonder the Time Travel Bureau chose me, a pig farming expert, to take care of him. Only I can raise him to be plump and fair-skinned. Easy peasy. Jasper put down the spoon he had licked clean, hugged his belly, and let out a happy sigh. He looked at me, his lips moving several times. I thought he would say something like, "It's really delicious," but as he kept looking, he lowered his head and began to quietly wipe away his tears. "Mom, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have eaten such a delicious meal all by myself. I am a selfish child. You can hit me, Mom." He extended his little hand for me to hit. I grabbed Jasper's hand, picked him up, and placed him on my lap. I asked him, "Do you think this bowl looks nice?" He didn't understand why, but he nodded with a sob. "This bowl, I picked it out especially for you. This meal, I made it especially for you. You finished the food I made. That's not selfish, that's cherishing someone's effort. If you're not enthusiastic about eating, there's something wrong with your mindset." Jasper nodded in confusion and buried his head in my chest. Silent tears soaked my chest. So I changed the subject to something cheerful. "Was the food I made delicious?" "Delicious. Next time, will you finish it all for me to see?" "Okay, great. Our Jasper is such a sensible child." After a long while, Jasper looked up and said in a muffled voice, "Mom, you're so good." "Silly, I was just giving the care that any keeper should provide. Before coming here, I specifically obtained a nutritionist certification. After all, I only knew about pigs' dietary needs before. Not humans, but I know that to raise a little one well, I first need to master nutrition. Maintaining a serious and dedicated attitude is my secret to excelling in whatever I do. Don't underestimate this bowl of food. In this, I've placed a small piece of salmon, one black tiger shrimp, a piece of pre-made pumpkin chicken soup jelly, a slice of luncheon meat, a few fava beans, one egg, a few leaves of baby bok choy, 2 finger carrots, and an appropriate amount of rice, all steamed together in the rice cooker. Before serving, I added a little low-sodium, mild baby soy sauce for seasoning. This bowl of dark yellow rice is packed with protein, lipids, vitamins, probiotics, and dietary fiber. making it perfect for a 3-year-old like Jasper to eat. The system checked in once while Jasper was eating heartily. It rudely vomited in my mind. I'm disgusted. What is this? Shit, as expected of you, host. I was a bit worried at first. But I didn't expect you to arrange pig slop for the villain so quickly, I replied. Are you being polite? Prejudice in the system is a mountain. My cooking is just a bit ugly, but it's fragrant, tasty, and nutritious. Too bad this system doesn't have a nose. No, I'm going to throw up if I keep watching, with a professional farmer like you in this book. Ugh, you passed the first test, but there are 2 more. I can't take it anymore. I don't want to watch him eat. I'm leaving first. Jasper refuses to sleep. At first, I thought he wasn't tired. But even after telling 3 stories, he still wasn't sleepy. I looked at the clock. It was already 10 o'clock. So small, not getting enough sleep is not an option. I'm going to use my ultimate move. I patted him while singing a lullaby. Little piggy, be good, open the door. As I patted him, I realized something was wrong. He was hiding under the covers and crying. Peeking inside, Jasper was touching the new clothes and candy. Tears streaming down his face, he said, when I wake up, all of this will be gone. How could that be? I made a pinky promise with him, assuring that when he wakes up tomorrow morning, all these wonderful things will still be by his side. Yet, he still held onto my hand, unwilling to let go. It must be the halo effect. A piglet will recognize the first person it sees as its mother and follow me around all day. And since Jasper had previously encountered an irresponsible stepmother, it's only natural that he developed an attachment to me. The first person who gave him warmth, I sat down by the bed, planning to stay with him for the night. I'm familiar with this. I used to stay up late with the sows when they were about to give birth and with the piglets when they were frightened. Jasper kept his eyes wide open, staring at me as if I would disappear the moment he fell asleep. After my head slipped for the 3rd time, unable to stay up, he couldn't help but speak up. Mom, he asked me, will you still be here tomorrow? Of course. You won't disappear when I wake up, will you? Of course not. Jasper let go of my hand and slid down under the covers by himself, covering half of her face with the blanket. She whispered, then Mom should go back to sleep. Mom has worked hard all day. I tucked Jasper in and planted a kiss on his head. Good night, little piggy. Late at night, a loud thunderclap sounded outside the window. I was startled awake, mumbling softly. Good thing there are no pregnant sows or piglets right now. Or they could easily get frightened. I set my mind at ease and went back to sleep. Another loud thunderclap, and I suddenly jolted upright. That's not right. My little one is still sleeping in the next room. Even piglets are afraid of thunder, so human children must be the same. I dashed into Jasper's room in one swift move. His candies were scattered on the pillow. The quilt was also messily piled on the floor. But the bed was empty. I let out a sharp scream. Damn it, who stole my baby? I was so anxious that I was running around in circles, and the system was summoned by me. System, my child is missing. Hurry, 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 help me find them. The system's voice was filled with helplessness. Can't this wait until tomorrow? Even systems need to rest. Isn't the villain just sleeping under the bed? Under the bed. The system suddenly perked up. Impressive, host. You won't even let him sleep on the bed. I'm confused. The host went on recording for me, forcing the villain into the cramped, pitch-black space under the bed, making him sleep on the floor like a dog or a pig. TSK, this kind of psychological humiliation is so much more effective than the beatings and insults they used before. With results like this, you should pass your second assessment. Why didn't the previous hosts think of this? It really takes a pig farmer like you. Wait, excuse me, does this system have some misunderstanding about my profession? How does it think I usually treat pigs? We caretakers treat pigs like treasures. Okay, we clean their pens every day and put in fresh hay. We have to shower before entering and leaving the pig pen 4 to 8 times a day. Which pig is feeling a bit unwell? I'm more anxious than anyone else. Lucky for this system that it runs fast. Otherwise I would have given it a piece of my mind. What needs to be addressed now is the current situation. I knelt down, pressed my head to the floor, and saw Jasper huddled in a ball against the corner under the bed. He curled up in the corner, wrapped in the blanket, sleeping soundly, seemingly unaffected by the thunder and lightning outside the window. If it wasn't because of the thunder and lightning, then why was he sleeping under the bed? Thinking of the faint wounds on his body when he was bathing, I seemed to have an answer in my heart. I couldn't bear to wake him up. I couldn't bear to let him stay under the bed like that. Sighing, I lay down flat and slipped under the bed as well. The next day, when Jasper woke up in my arms, he was startled, his eyes turned unfamiliar, and he turned his head away in disgust. "What kind of trick are you trying to pull now?" I burst out laughing, pinching his chubby little cheek. "How come I didn't notice you had two sides yesterday? What, after a night's sleep, you're pretending not to know me?" Jasper looked at me in disbelief, his eyes sparkling with surprise. "Mom, is it really you? Who else could it be?" Jasper squirmed without answering, just holding my hand and giggling foolishly. This silly grin lasted until breakfast time, learning from yesterday's lesson. The meal I served today was no longer a dull yellow color. I added some mashed yam, chopped radish greens, a small piece of salmon, a cabbage leaf, a piece of pre-made beef bone broth, an egg, and a little lard, then steamed everything together with the rice. The radish greens have a rather dominant color, so breakfast turned out green. Jasper didn't seem to mind at all and ate it bite by bite with great relish. I watched with satisfaction. I've always loved little pigs who eat with such gusto. That's when the system arrived. Ugh. It was vomiting so loudly that I had been meaning to say something to it yesterday, but the noise made me forget everything. "Host, you've really trained the villain well. He's enjoying this awful pig slop so much. I can't accept that. How do you know it tastes bad? You haven't even tried it." "A guest is always welcome. Give it a try. The food I made smells really good. I promise." "No, no, no, it's fine. I'm about to throw up." "If you're not going to eat, then get out of the way. You keep vomiting in my mind. How am I supposed to eat?" The system quickly apologized and got to the point. "Host, I came to ask you, what are you planning to do today?" "I'm taking Jasper to the place that all children in the world hate and fear the most today." The system is full of anticipation. "Where is it?" "The hospital." "That's it." The system is clearly a bit disappointed. "What's so fun about the hospital?" "I'm taking him to get a shot. He should." The system's excited voice interrupted me. "Could it be that you mean, yes, I'm taking this child to get vaccinated. Jasper is already 3 years old and should receive the second dose of the meningococcal vaccine and the Japanese encephalitis attenuated live vaccine. As a professional pig farmer, I always keep disease prevention at the forefront of my mind. I can recite from memory which vaccines piglets need on which day after birth. As for the vaccination schedule for children, I certainly did my homework thoroughly before coming here, but the system didn't give me a chance to show off." "Oh my, a modern-day vicious woman. How did you come up with such a vicious idea, and you even thoughtfully considered doing it at the hospital, so there's no worry if something goes wrong, as expected of you." "Host, how did I, a mere system, get so lucky to meet such an amazing host? The system wants to nominate you as the best evil stepmother of this term." After the system's constant nagging, I finally remembered what I wanted to say to it. I wanted to ask it last night if it had some misunderstanding about me. "No, system, you've got it wrong." The system manually muted me. "Host, don't be modest. I get it. I know you're embarrassed, but your wicked talent can't be hidden. You deserve the Best Wicked Stepmother award. I'll apply for it right away." The system disappeared again in the blink of an eye, leaving me petrified on the spot. Jasper, seeing me standing still for a long time without moving, was very worried. "Mom, what's wrong?" "Nothing, Mom just ran into an idiot, that's all." After getting vaccinated, I took Jasper for a full-body checkup. The test results were not good at all. The doctor looked at me suspiciously and said, "What is your relationship to this child?" Upon learning that I was Jasper's mother, the doctor stared at me so intensely it felt like his eyes could bore 2 holes through me. "This child has long-term malnutrition and a severe stomach problem. How have you been as a mother?" She shielded Jasper behind her and asked softly, "Child, do you need help?" Jasper shook his head. "It wasn't my mom's doing. My mom treats me very well." I was stunned. He seems to know that it wasn't me who bullied him before. I vaguely understood why he was so afraid of waking up to find me gone. It turns out that for him, many mornings meant facing a new mother. Fortunately, I signed a long-term contract. From now on, I'll be the one to take care of this child. After leaving the hospital, I revised the nutrition plan according to the doctor's advice, forcing him to drink a glass of milk every morning, eat the nutritionally balanced meals I prepared for all 3 meals, and adding daily vitamin supplements. I recalled that when raising pigs, to promote their health, we would let them engage in various forms of free movement. Once you understand one thing, you understand everything. raising a child also requires a focus on exercise, so in addition to dietary supplements, I also created an exercise plan for Jasper. I encouraged him to try every sport, and in the end, based on his preferences, we signed him up for tennis classes, swimming lessons, and martial arts. Outside of school, I took him to do various parent-child sports, teaching him how to ride a balance bike step by step and taking him hiking in the mountains. As Jasper's body grew stronger day by day, the bonus from the Transmigration Bureau also arrived. Along with it came a voice message from the system: "Keep it up, host. You will definitely be the #1 at healing the antagonist." Overjoyed, I used the money to take Jasper on trips everywhere. We went to Mogan Mount, sipped tea in a forest bamboo hut, and together set little bamboo leaf boats afloat on the water. We went to Lugu Lake, sat around the fire pit at night learning folk songs, watched the Milky Way from the tent, and fell asleep counting stars. Jasper said, "So the night isn't so scary after all." We also went to Chengdu, Sichuan, to see panda munching on bamboo. We ate rabbit together, and Jasper tearfully complained that eating hot pot made his bottom hurt. But he still couldn't resist it the next meal. We went to so many places together, and in my heart, I hope to leave Jasper with many beautiful memories. This way, even if one day the Time Travel Bureau makes me leave, these beautiful moments can serve as Jasper's support, encouraging him to continue living well and not turn into a malicious villain. The day before entering kindergarten, I pasted the photos from our trip into the growth record book and wrote about Jasper's growth and changes during the journey. By the time I put down the pen, it was already late at night. I gently walked into Jasper's room and tucked the blanket around him. Since we started traveling and spending nights away from home, Jasper hasn't slept under the bed for a long time. His fears of the world, the unknown, and the darkness have been gradually overcome by this brave little boy, holding my hand. He told me, with Mom by my side, I won't be afraid. Such courage lasted until he started school. While other children were crying and throwing tantrums about not wanting to go to school, only Jasper remained calm. During this time, I have helped him transition from an anxious attachment style to a secure one. So, although he was reluctant, knowing that I would definitely pick him up on time after school, Jasper wasn't too upset. Before leaving, he didn't forget to remind me, "Mom, remember to eat well when I'm not at home." I rubbed his head and couldn't help but laugh. "Okay, I'll listen to my little piggy." After attending kindergarten for a while, Jasper always seemed preoccupied during meals. Could it be that after eating outside, he no longer likes home-cooked food? But I noticed he still ate everything clean, even more carefully than before, unwilling to waste a single bit, so I prepared myself to listen. I had already tried many times to encourage the child to speak. After making sure Jasper understood, I stopped asking him every time. If he was willing to speak, he would. If he doesn't want to say, I'm willing to let him keep his little secret. Finally, before going to bed, Jasper hesitantly asked me, "Mom, can I invite a friend over for dinner?" "Of course you can." Really, Jasper was very happy. They all don't believe that I have the best mom in the world, and they don't believe that the food you make is the most delicious in the world. Aha. Is it possible that although the food in our house is delicious, it really doesn't look that good? But I absolutely don't want to disappoint my child. If the presentation isn't good, I can practice. I kissed Jasper's chubby little face. Of course it's true. Alright, now it's time to sleep. Good night, little piggy. The next day, I crammed at the last minute, studying recipes all day for dishes that kids love. At dismissal time, I went to the kindergarten to pick them up, including Jasper. There were only 3 children, fewer than I had imagined. The little boy greeted cheerfully, "Hello, Auntie, my name is Kevin. I've always heard from Jasper that you cook really well. I hope I'm not bothering you." A shy little girl, clutching the hem of her skirt, spoke softly. "Hello, Auntie." Kevin introduced her. "Auntie, her name is Lucy. She's the cutest girl in our class, and the 3 of us are best friends." Hearing this, the little girl's face turned even redder. I grabbed Jasper's little ear and asked him, "Why don't they seem as skeptical as you said they would be?" Jasper pouted. "I thought about it, and letting those who don't believe me come over for dinner would be too easy on them, so I only invited my best friends. This kid is quite the clever little one, takes after me." While cooking, the system that had been missing for a long time appeared, detected that the male and female leads have appeared. So these 2 companions of Jasper are the male and female leads. "Host, you must seize the opportunity to make the antagonist turn against them," I said. Do I look like I'm sick? Why would I mess with them for no reason? Host, you don't know this, but they are still good friends for now. I know that. Originally, the three of them were in the same boat, often getting beaten or going hungry. Jasper brought the two of them home, but he discovered that the stepmother, who had always treated him like a pig, was exceptionally kind to them, completely playing favorites. The two of them actually liked the stepmother a lot, which made the antagonist both jealous and angry. He began to doubt himself intensely and turned against them. I suspect the system is messing with me, my dear. Doubting myself. Impossible. Given how close the three of them are, they practically squeeze together in the car, turning against each other. Impossible. The system is furious. In short, there's only one policy: treat them differently. You must be the catalyst for their relationship. I don't speak, I just cook silently. The system probe took a look and said with relief, look at you, saying it's impossible with your mouth, but you're already taking action. You feed the villain pig slop, yet you make cola chicken wings, pepper salt crispy pork, sweet and sour ribs, shredded potato pancakes, and egg tarts for dessert for the male and female leads. I can't wait to see the villain's reaction. When serving the dishes, Jasper was giving his two little friends a psychological heads up. My mom's cooking might not look good, but it's really delicious. Just close your eyes and stuff it in your mouth. You'll see. Really? Kevin scratched his head, looking puzzled. Is this considered ugly? Jasper let out a sharp cry. Mom, you've never made such a beautiful dish for me. System. Hee hee hee. The villain is breaking down, as Jasper spoke. He was about to reach out, while the two other children sat quietly nearby, waiting for my instructions. I grabbed Jasper by his little ear to stop him. Stop messing around. Take your friends to wash their hands. After they left, the system praised me. Host, you did a great job, making the antagonist lose face in front of the male and female leads, crushing his self-esteem. Hee hee hee. Is that enough to crush his self-esteem? It's not that serious, I explained. This is just how Jasper and I usually interact. You're overthinking it. What child would get upset just because their mom pinched their ear? But the system continued on its own. I should apply for a second bonus for you. Huh? A bonus? Fine, I'll shut up. I'm going now. Host, wait for my good news. Remember to maintain the contrast. Make sure the antagonist always feels your differential treatment. I nodded and smiled. Who said this system is problematic? This system is just perfect. After washing my hands, 3 pairs of sparkling little eyes stared at me expectantly. I waved my hand. Let's eat. Afraid they might be too reserved, I first placed a chicken wing in each of their 3 small bowls, but I noticed that Kevin and Lucy ate very restrainedly, only keeping their heads down to eat the food in their own bowls and not taking any more after finishing. Lucy put down her chopsticks and said softly, I'm full. Even the eloquent Kevin remained silent, only thanking me. Jasper, who was on his 3rd bowl of rice, paused to think for a moment, then suddenly went to the kitchen to get another pair of chopsticks. Using serving chopsticks, he piled a lot of food onto his good friend's plate, muttering, there's so much food here, it'd be a waste not to finish it. The 2 children glanced at the bowl, then at me, looking a bit embarrassed. Finally, they nodded and continued eating. I thought about what the system had said, that they were both children who had suffered, and felt a pang of sympathy. Jasper said loudly, my mom loves watching people eat the food she makes. She's always treated me like a little pig since I was a kid, so don't be shy, right, Mom? Yes, I replied as I poured drinks for them. After the meal, Jasper shared his toys and books with his friends, who expressed amazed admiration. Where is the jealousy the system mentioned in Jasper? A child immersed in love and a sense of security will not hesitate to share that love with others. Jasper just whispered to me, Mom, they are so pitiful. Lucy's mom is always busy and never takes care of her. She usually goes home and makes instant noodles for herself. Kevin doesn't even have any family at all. After his grandma passed away, he even had to collect bottles to save up for his tuition. My heart ached, and I said to Jasper, bring them over for meals more often from now on. At 7 p.m., we walked Lucy home together. It turned out her home wasn't far, just a block away. Upstairs, Lucy, acting like a little adult, took out her key to unlock the door, stood on tiptoe to turn on the light, and stood at the doorway to say goodbye to us. Is your mom not back yet? Lucy replied softly, she won't be back this week. What about your dad? They got divorced. I was stunned and didn't know what to say. Lucy forced a smile and said goodbye to me. Goodbye, Auntie. After saying that, she couldn't bring herself to close the door and stood at the doorway, watching us go downstairs. I went down half a flight of stairs but couldn't help myself and turned back to go up. Lucy was still at the door, looking like she was about to cry. I crouched down, hugged her, and asked, "Do you remember your mom's phone number?" When the call connected, I introduced myself and asked if Lucy could stay at my place for a few days. The sound of mahjong tiles clashing came from over there, and it took a long while before I heard a response. Whatever, how clever I was. I quickly tested the waters and asked, "What about staying at my place a bit longer?" "Whatever," I pushed my luck. "How about you just give me the child?" The voice on the other end rose. "Hey," I quickly said. "Forget it if you don't want to." "Hey, I won. Pay up, pay up." After a rustling sound, the other end asked, "What did you just say?" "Nothing, you big idiot. Go be with your mahjong." I brought the 3 children back home again. Downstairs, Kevin stopped. "Auntie, thank you for the meal. It was really delicious." Jasper wasn't lying. "You're the best cook in the world. I'll testify for him tomorrow. I've never had anything so." He suddenly froze, looking at me in surprise as I took his hand. "If you like it, come home with me and eat it every day, anyway." Raising one kid is the same as raising 3. I held Lucy's hand with one hand and Kevin's with the other, circling around the 3 of us. I wonder if this counts as the system's so-called differential treatment. But Jasper didn't show a hint of jealousy. He cheerfully asked me in a loud voice, Mom, can I hold on to your clothes?" In the evening, I let Kevin and Jasper sleep together, while Lucy slept with me, before going to bed. After the 3 little ones gathered together to finish the story, Jasper proudly snorted at Lucy. "Fine, I'll let you have my beloved mom for one night." On the weekend, I took the 3 kids to buy clothes. Kevin's clothes were already a bit short for him, with his arms and legs sticking out quite a bit, but he never let that hold him back, always carrying himself with confidence and optimism, which made people unconsciously overlook his slightly shabby appearance. I picked out 2 sets. And when it was time to check out, Kevin said to the salesperson, "Sister, can you give us a discount?" I silently gave a thumbs up. He really is a kid who's learned to survive on his own. So mature it's heartbreaking. Kevin is sweet-talking and persuasive, and he actually managed to talk the price down a bit. Just as I was about to pay, he pulled out a stack of crumpled bills himself. "Godmother, I'll pay. I have my own money." He looked so determined, and I was worried about how to persuade him. But Jasper had already stepped in to help him put the money back. Jasper knew how to protect his friend's self-esteem. Instead of saying it wasn't necessary, he said, "Mom is buying clothes for all 3 of us, and you're the only one using your own money. What, are you trying to be special?" "No way. I don't agree. I try my best to treat all 3 children equally, but sometimes I have to treat them differently." So the 3 kids started arguing. For example, today, Jasper and Kevin tugged at my clothes and whined, "Mom, why does Lucy get to wear a pretty dress? I want one too. I want one too." I sneered, "Fine, I'll buy them for you, but let's be clear. Once I buy them, you'd better wear them." Another example, while getting a haircut, Lucy looked enviously at the 2 little buzz cuts and said, "Mom, I want to cut my hair like that too, so you won't have to work so hard washing it for me." Honestly, you don't have to feel that sorry for me. I'm gradually gaining experience. No matter what, I'll make it even, make everything even. While making cream puffs for them, I accidentally flattened one. I painfully flattened the other 2 as well. When I bought them balls online, I specifically chose the same size, but the seller sent the wrong items. I ended up with 1 large and 2 small ones. They fought over them for a full 3 hours. In the middle of the night, I tearfully asked customer service, "Do you want me to die? I can't do any housework at all. The moment I try, it gets snatched away from me." Lucy asked me, "Mom, am I your little cotton-padded jacket?" Kevin pushed her away. "I'm the one who's Mom's best helper." Jasper couldn't take it anymore. "You 2 green teas. This is my mom. You're only allowed to call her godmother. The floor is polished to a shine every day, and they compete to see who can mop it cleaner. The closet has to be perfectly organized. I have to change clothes on the sly. Otherwise, if the 3 little ones hear the sound of me opening or closing the closet door, they'll knock and ask, "Mom, do you need me to fold the clothes?" I'll do it. This time it's my turn. Mom, I'm good at folding. Let me do it." Usually, when cooking, if one person rushes to wash the vegetables, another will rush to wash the dishes. And someone else might grumble while wiping the table because they didn't get to do either, chirping and chattering in my ears all day, arguing and competing. It wasn't until they entered high school that my ears finally found some peace. They were no longer in the same class in high school. Lucy and Jasper chose science, while Kevin chose humanities. Distance makes the heart grow fonder. The three kids, who only came home once a week, seemed much more pleasant to look at. Lucy served me soup and said, "Mom, I got first place in the grade for the monthly exam. Please go to the parent-teacher conference for me this time." Kevin slammed the table and said, "I'm still first in the liberal arts division, why not go for me?" Jasper brought out the last dish, took off his apron, and said with a look of dissatisfaction, "Let's take turns. It's my turn this time." It was at this moment that the system appeared. "Long time no see, host. First of all, congratulations. In just one more month, when the antagonist turns 18, you'll be able to retire with a hefty bonus. Once you retire, I can get promoted too. Hee, that's great. Let me check your performance first. Wait, who is this sunny and handsome young man standing next to the male and female leads? That's my son, Jasper. Why is the villain here? Shouldn't he be lurking in the shadows? He should be extremely jealous of the male and female leads, desperately snatching their resources, provoking them, and making trouble for them. How could that not count? Jasper is indeed quite jealous. He stared at the report card for 5 minutes, muttering under his breath, "Damn, they all scored so well, holy crap." He did indeed fight and compete for it. When fighting for kitchen rights, neither Lucy nor Kevin could outdo him. He took advantage and still acted smug. Among the three of us, I'm the best cook. Mom just didn't say it out loud to spare your feelings. The system stopped joking and broke down, screaming that there was foul play and demanding to review the surveillance footage. After checking the surveillance footage from over the years, it broke down even more. Wah wah wah, how dare you play me right under my nose? I'm innocent. How did I play you? I'd like to ask you, what do you mean by all those strange things you often say? The system accused me, saying, "You clearly promised to treat the villain like a pig. I thought you were feeding him pig slop, but it turned out to be a carefully balanced nutritious meal. Taking him to the hospital wasn't to bully him, you were getting him vaccinated. Him sleeping under the bed wasn't your doing either. He chose to sleep there because he felt insecure, and you even went under the bed to keep him company. You even supervised his exercise routine, and now he's as strong as a little calf. I told you to humiliate him like he's a dog or a pig. But you actually made a growth record for him. Who are you to treat him so well? Why, I'll never get promoted. The villain is supposed to suffer endless torment and humiliation, lose trust in everyone, and be in a terrible mental and physical state, just crawling around in the dark all the time." I was stunned. What exactly went wrong? First of all, rule out my problem. First, whether it's nutritional meals, vaccines, exercise, or growth records. It's all done according to pig farming methods. I'm a professional. How could I not know? Second, back then, you only told me to raise him just like raising pigs, and you didn't say anything else. Oh right, you also told me to cure him, and haven't I cured him? He's super cheerful now. The system stomped its foot in frustration. I meant depressing as in depression. I silently spread my hands. Is it my fault? You're going too far. There's still a month left. Fix this immediately. No, if I had known the true nature of the task, I would never have taken this job. Moreover, I've really come to see Jasper as my own child now. He is a living person, not a flat, instrumentalized character. I want him to live his own life, not be controlled by so-called plot lines. The system threatened me. If you fail to complete the task, you will face severe punishment. Punishments. I tried hard to recall the contents of the contract, but it didn't seem to mention this at the time. I tentatively asked, if I fail to complete the task, will I be expelled from this world and never allowed to return? You're thinking too optimistically. The system scolded me harshly. If you fail, you'll be trapped here, unable to leave forever. What? Could such good fortune really exist? I pretended to be shocked. Really? Wow, that's terrifying. So hurry up and make up for it. Actually, the system doesn't know that the reason I applied to the Transmigration Bureau was because I heard that time flows slower in the original world when you work in another world. before applying, I quit my job as a pig farm worker because I was diagnosed with a terminal illness and didn't have long to live, so I wanted to extend my life within the limited time I had, these past few days. Every time I thought about having to leave once the mission is over, I felt so sad that I couldn't eat. Now it's all good, I don't have to let my child suffer, nor do I have to go back. Sweet. Soon, Jasper's 18th birthday arrived. The gifts prepared by Kevin and Lucy, one focuses on quality, the other on quantity. Lucy assembled a computer herself to give to him, to secretly pick out the parts without Jasper noticing. She asked me several times to help her take time off and accompany her to the computer market. Kevin, knowing his good friend's physique well, chose a custom-made suit and a matching tie for him, and even used his own writing earnings to buy him a manual coffee grinder. As for the coffee grinder, I suspect he just wanted it for himself. I had already prepared a gift for Jasper early on, planning to give it to him first thing in the morning, but that morning, when I woke up, I realized I wasn't in bed. I felt my body was incredibly heavy and tried to stretch by moving my paws. Pause, something seems off. I looked at myself. My world collapsed. Excuse me, the system only said I would be stuck in this world and couldn't return, but it never mentioned I'd turn into a pig. Why can't it always convey the information completely? For a moment, I didn't know whether it would be better to return to the original world and wait for death, or stay here and live as a pig. Of course, I had no choice in the matter. I was locked in a small square, with glass in front of me. I used the glass as a mirror to look at myself and determined that I was now a 3 to 4-week-old mini pig. There are sounds of cats and dogs around, and many people are standing in front of the glass making their selections. Thankfully, I'm in a pet store, which is a bit better than being in a pig farm. At least I have my own room for now, and the purpose of my growth isn't to become food. All day long, people come and go, picking out quite a few cats and dogs, and there are also a few rabbits and hamsters, but no one chose me, so I lay down and began to ponder the life of a pig. I wonder how my 3 little ones are doing now. I wonder, from their perspective, did I suddenly disappear, or did the Transmigration Bureau send someone to replace me? Given the nature of the Transmigration Bureau, I suspect they would send someone who is truly capable of being a wicked stepmother. Fortunately, the children have all grown up and have learned to protect themselves. They have inner strength and should no longer be subjected to emotional abuse or PUA. As for physical abuse, I'm even less worried. The martial arts, taekwondo, combat training they were sent to learn wasn't for nothing. If any new time traveler tries to bully them, they'll definitely get beaten to a pulp. One left hook, one right hook. Hee. Just thinking about this scene makes me laugh. Mom, look, this pig is laughing, a child exclaimed. I quickly closed my eyes and mouth, pretending to be asleep. After a long wait, I quietly opened my eyes to take a peek, only to see a familiar figure standing in front of me. It looks familiar, yet somehow unfamiliar. It's Jasper, older, more mature, and more melancholic. Damn it, I have no idea how long it's been since I woke up as a pig. My gentle, jade-like child has grown into an adult, and a disheveled one at that, with a full, unshaven beard and an expression full of exhaustion. He didn't know how long he had been watching me, then turned to the 2 people behind him and said, "Let's buy this one." I never thought that after becoming a pig, I would live a happy pig life. Kevin held a book and said, "Rosy complexion, moist nose, normal temperature. Yes, healthy." This book looks a bit familiar. When I was raising the children with the help of this book, I accidentally got caught by them. The 3 children asked me in confusion, "Mom, isn't this the Piglet Healthcare Manual?" At that moment, my face turned red. What do you know? Later, somehow, I couldn't find that book anymore. It turned out Kevin had put it away. Jasper is responsible for cooking for me. Fortunately, I don't have to stay in the pet store eating pig feed anymore. Jasper prepares nutritious meals for me every day according to the Piglet dietary pyramid. And the presentation looks much better than what I used to make. No wonder he's such an impressive kid. He already had 10 years of cooking experience by the age of 18. Kevin is worried that I might be unhealthy from just eating without moving, so he takes me out for a 2-hour walk every day and occasionally brings me to forests and grasslands for some fresh air. During the day, they help me turn on the TV and novels, so I never feel bored. Sometimes, I even chat with people online through the internet, who can tell whether the person typing on the other end is a human or a pig. Actually, when you think about it, retirement life isn't all that different. This way is pretty good too. Lucy is so busy these days, I don't know what she's up to all day. She's never around during the day, but she always holds me to sleep at night. She has clearly become the backbone for Jasper and Kevin now. Every morning, they have a little meeting at the dining table. I've discovered a bug and am now preparing to infiltrate their network. Jasper, continue investigating the information from when you were 3 years old, and also focus on the year you turned 18. If they were ever involved, they would have left some traces. Kevin, look up the records of people who have undergone sudden personality changes in recent years and compile their common characteristics. TSK. I don't understand. I'd better just focus on eating, after assigning the tasks. Jasper cut a small piece of watermelon for me. It's delicious, just a bit too little. Too bad they won't let me eat more. I looked up in protest. Lucy gently held me in her arms, stroking my pig head. Don't worry, these days won't last much longer. I snorted and grunted. Kevin said, don't hold her right after eating. She might feel uncomfortable later. Can you stop nagging like a mother hen? I just couldn't resist holding her, Lucy retorted. Jasper gently took over and placed me on the sofa. You get to hold her to sleep every day. Next time, leave the daytime for the two of us. Damn, these 3 kids. You're still so old, yet you can't change this noisy and quarrelsome nature. I don't know how long these happy days lasted, but one day the system came to me again. It gave me a big fright when it suddenly sneered. You must be feeling quite pleased with yourself now, aren't you? I looked at my pig-like body and asked myself, am I proud? What do I have to be proud of? This system has gone crazy again. I gave it a dirty look. Get lost, don't disturb my sleep. It grumbled for a long time before finally getting to the point. Can you tell them to stop? They're about to make this world collapse. I helplessly spread my paws. What can I do? I'm just a little pig. Lucy even implanted the virus into the Transmigration Bureau. It's not just your world that's affected now, but all the worlds under the Bureau's control. Can you bear that? Wow. You're not trying to guilt trip me, are you? I don't even have a body anymore. Do you think I still have morals? The system fell silent for a moment, then asked, what if we restore your body? Is that all for recovery? What about the compensation for my mental distress after being a pig for so long? The system gritted its teeth. Here's a compensation for you. Just one. What about the compensation for my children's mental distress after losing their mother for so long? The system fell silent for a moment, probably going to apply for compensations. Is that enough? Don't push your luck. I'm telling you, do you think my children are still short of money now? Even the piggy bank they bought for me is from Hermes, and they have 3 different colors to switch between. The system is driven crazy by me again. Anyway, it's not me who's in a hurry, it spoke gloomily. Aren't you afraid I might just kill you? Your children surely wouldn't want you to die, right? Then go ahead and kill me. I know my children well. Why don't you try threatening them directly? The system left, grumbling and complaining. 3 days later, it came to me again and said, what exactly do you want? I still didn't speak, stringing the system along for a while, before it completely lost its composure. I gave the answer I had long prepared. I want my children to be healthy and live long lives in the future. I want the Transmigration Bureau to exit this world. I want you to stop interfering with our lives from now on. After a long wait, the system replied, okay. Another morning, I woke up feeling like the bed had become much smaller. Oh, it turns out I've turned back into human form. When I pushed the door open and went out, the noisy dining table suddenly fell silent. Lucy was the first to rush up and hug me, her tears soaking my shoulder. Next was Kevin, who, with his long arms and legs, pulled both Lucy and me into a hug. Jasper cried the loudest, Mom, wah, I can't even squeeze in, wah. I struggled to extend a hand and pulled Jasper in. A year later, the kids celebrated my birthday. Yes, we considered the day I was reborn as a human as my birthday. Jasper prepared a big feast, and Kevin brought out a cake he made himself. And Lucy mysteriously pulled out a booklet. Mom, this is a gift the 3 of us prepared for you together. I curiously took it. On the cover, it was clearly written, Piglet, crossed out, Mom's rearing record. Inside, it clearly documented how they took care of me during my time as a pig, even including a photo of me grinning foolishly while drinking milk. The 3 of them looked at me expectantly, moved by their own actions, with expressions that seemed to be waiting for praise. Mom, when we were kids, you kept growth records for us. Now that we've grown up, we're making one for you. Aw, do I look happy to you? I covered my face and let out a sharp scream, such an embarrassment. After hearing the story above, what are your thoughts? Feel free to share your opinions in the comments section. Looking forward to hearing from you. If you liked this story, don't forget to like it, share it, and subscribe to my channel. See you next time.